I've never seen you looking so lovely as you did tonight. I've never seen you shine so bright.
douglAR Politics. This evening, we go a little early, 6 p.m., to make way for the United National Congress on the ballot. So 6 p.m., douglAR Politics. A lady in red, disrespected, put through the ringer, embarrassed, harassed, disgraced, and yet the Prime Minister sees it fit to continue a public abuse of the lady in red. What about the head lady in red, in charge of the PNM Red Women's League? Is she part and parcel of this continued abuse of a lady in red to protect a grabby-wabby? What is going on with Keith Christopher Rowley and his government? It's unraveling at every juncture. 26 days to go in an election, and he wants to sign a deal with clause number 7, conditionality number 7 for traffic gura, PTE and patriotic, PDVSA, Venezuela, Maduro, Delcy. Has this man lost his mind? Ladies and gentlemen, all human beings, all citizens of Trinidad and Tobago, save us from this gentleman. Save us from Keith Christopher Rowley. The United States of America is looking carefully. 26 days to go, and he announces that he wants to sign the most important critical deal with a lot of your taxpayers' dollars and assets. Why doesn't he wait to get a mandate, since he's so sure that the election victory is his? Why doesn't he wait to sign that on the 12th of August? Because he won't be there. Kamla Prasad Bisesa, UNC, Yellow, coming to save Trinidad and Tobago from the PDVSA, Maduro, Delcy debacle. Vote August 10th. United National Congress. douglAR Politics is fire tonight.
Yo tengo esa gasolina que te gusta. Olvídate de tu marido y listen, take some education. Listen, come on. Look back up your valleys there, BNM have to go. Just now is election, we bringing back UNC.
Anil is back to deal with the PNM. And to you on the radio, and to you watching on TV, do not adjust your dial. It is Anil you're seeing right here, live and direct, never went anywhere. Because the douglAR could talk either way. Because the douglAR could talk either way. Anil Roberts!
Good evening. Sorry, there's a false start. That is alright. We under starters orders again. You know, Rowley tried to cheat. He tried to run down the race, tried to pack box, tried to put somebody niece in charge of the EBC, but licks go come from all over. Gerrymandering don't help when a wave of cocktail coming. So good evening. Welcome to douglAR Politics. Share the live, please, because you know we're going early because we have to make way for the big hitters, the heavy hitters. UNC on the ballot coming up with all our candidates going to sweep across Trinidad and Tobago. I tell you, I went down Labre, I only seen yellow. What going on? I'll just share a little mango, a little juice with the PNM now, man. Don't give them nothing, and they didn't want to give all them nothing. You're right. Run them, tell them go from here all across Trinidad and Tobago. But let me start first. Understand this. I told y'all that Keith Christopher Rowley don't think through anything, you know. He jump up and he send Champa with a set of weave to tell we about CPL coming. Get excited. We're going to start. You see, Champa, you're looking different, girl. Oh, Lord, what happened, Champa? I don't know if it's sport. Just the mention of the word sport, you look. That's how you used to look, Champa. Oh, God. Well, girl, let me give you a clap. That is what you call transformation. You did not transform sport. Well, you take it backwards, but say what? But Champa come and say CPL. We going and pay $1 million US. Rowley come and say, well, the economics is very good. They're talking about losses. We have no revenue streams, but the whole world will be watching us, even though we have nothing to sell but the CPL. But remember back on Saturday, I told you all, thank you, Rowley, for bringing the CPL, because that means you will have to open the borders sometime in July 18th or so, because to have a tournament of that nature, people have to come in. They have to set up. You have to set up the two venues, the Oval and the Taruba. You have to check the lighting, get in the camera, set up the equipment, build stages, platforms, and so on. Set up all the signage for the advertisers. So, Rowley then started to say about somebody impersonate the CMO. Me, I know if it was a Mission Impossible 7 movie and Tom Cruise come down and pretend he was Parasram, me, I know how you just impersonate a CMO. But look, this poor CMO Parasram trying to make sense out of nonsense when they talk. In today's paper, a little article, you know, in the Express, down in a little corner, CMO probe to take place into false CPL claim. Speaking at the Ministry of Health's virtual news conference yesterday, Parasram said, he is looking into the matter. I know my permanent secretary has contacted the Ministry of Sport to find out what sort of communication took place, and once we get that information from them, we can determine what was the source of the leak. Well, let me ask you something, Parasram. Are you telling me that you are now contacting the Ministry of Sport to find out what health discussions were going on with health protocols and COVID-19, and so therefore Minister Champa Cudjoe was on her own negotiating with CPL and letting them know about health protocols? That don't make sense. Champa is not a doctor. She might be looking good. Maybe a doctor help her look good. Pop the picture about old Champa. Oh Lord Champa, improvement. I must clap improvement. I must show the people the improvement from back in the day. That is when Champa was kind of arrogant and, well, she's still that, yes boy, but she looked different. Hey girl, I don't know if it's doctor or if it's exercise, but it looking good, it working good. I proud of you. But Champa, all you must tell the truth. You can't negotiate with CPL and tell them about health protocols. That is not your work. So Parasram did not know that somebody impersonate he, because he now going to find out from the Ministry of Health who impersonate he and change the health protocols that Champa readjusted. But when all this not a lie, it'll just keep going. It's like an avalanche of lies, you know. Let me tell you, get ready with this video, and let me tell the PNM something. Y'all are the incumbent. You have nothing to say. You have done nothing for 5 years. All of a sudden you're buying spade from Bhagwan Singh and digging hole all over the place about you're going and do this, you're going and do that. People cussing in Diego Martin, you now come to pave the road on the eve of election. But this kind of dirty campaigning, show the video with this, show this ridiculous video with the yellow jersey there for me. That is a very nice thing. Oh gosh, we wrap some money in our yellow jersey. UNC buying votes. That's why Lavanti and Beatam have up yellow. That's why Damadi gone yellow. That's why Labre gone yellow. Because the UNC put in money in jersey. That's why you lost Maruga Tableland already and Gypsy singing for his supper. That's why Toko Sangri Grandi, Komuto Manzanella gone yellow. Because the UNC put in money in our jersey. And not because all is a bunch of incompetent, dishonest clowns with small pen and he arrogant self, and he only turning the elbow so like this. Every time he lie, it go to the right. Hook. Show them now. That is brilliant. That is brilliant. Abject none.
Maximum capacity. And those are 14-day cycles. Of course, the risk is if there is, God forbid, an outbreak or some positive spread in that, you then have to, when you decant the facilities and everybody finally gets home safely and are tested negative, according to our public health experts, we then have to air out the facilities. But what?
Yes, and he is so intelligent. After you decant, and they have to talk like convent girl, you know. I know you NCIC, but me I know I'm the he and they all sing. Oh, and after the 14 days of quarantine, and we decant the facility, we have to air it out. Well, you just wash sheet with Clorox? What you mean you're airing out? So you're not spraying down, you're not sanitizing, you're not bleaching, you're not doing anything. You just open up and let jar breeze blow out the COVID. You clung and die the people all you want to vote for to put on top of we. Let me get into some serious thing, yes? Let me tell you something. Rowley, listen very carefully, yeah? Newman George, Small Pin, all here. Some all at Paria. Guyanese facing sanctions. The USA, Canada, and UK condemn Granger's post-election action. Georgetown. U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo yesterday announced visa restrictions on individuals undermining democracy here and said that the David Granger administration must respect the results of democratic elections and step aside. Speaking at the State Department in Washington, Pompeo said immediate family members of these individuals could also be affected. So Rowley is not only your two lovely daughters inside, the son you had outside that you ignored for 44 years, he and all in jeopardy. You understand, Rowley? You go ahead playing gasolina games and you want to sign off on refinery. I'm coming to deal with that just now. Quick, 26 days of election, you want to sign off with Roger, who does lean to the left, a refinery? That's why the whole country gone yellow, because they fed up on you, Rowley. And this is another reason why. Stuart Smallpin Young. All you understand, we never saw this human being before. He never get a box lunch and hand a homeless in Woodford Square. He never buy a cricket bat for a little child who playing cricket in Chaguanas or Couva or up in a Matlot or down in Point 14 or across in Point-a-Pair. He never built a box train. He never helped a granny build a bridge over a drain to walk to she property. But Rowley find this clown Smallpin, make him the super minister, and he brother just breeze blowing money by he brother. Every time the breeze that airing out after you decant the facility, after it blow the COVID, it blow the money in the treasury, straight out the treasury just by Angus Smallpin Young. And this man says to our citizens, and I am telling y'all, and I'm telling Smallpin who feel bad, bring in the citizens. All you want to make mistake and bring in CPL, bring them in, repatriate them, bring in our citizens, plane load by plane load. You have you have no choice. You're done getting vote out, and you realize it's faux pas after faux pas. You want to bring in 250 foreigners from all over, and ball COVID not raging day. It only raging where Trini is. Nobody saying open the border, but repatriate our citizens. Bring them home. You are not above us. We don't care about you. We want to get rid of you. We don't know where Rowley find you. You're a total abject clown, boy. And you see, I didn't do that, so it means I'm telling the truth. Right? Listen to this man. And he want all your vote. When he come up St. Anne's, all you should only open the door for the hospital and put him in. And give him a case of blue tablet, let him sit down there for about 5 years. The government is preparing to receive 147 nationals from Grenada, Florida, and Canada. Thank you. You must listen to Kamala more often. Bring home the people. You're now realizing the licks coming, or you cannot even walk in your constituencies because people don't want to see all your, even in your strongholds, they don't want to see all your hiding online. And then when you bounce up online, the douglAR all blowing all you out. All you ain't shame. The douglAR is not even a candidate and blowing all you out. The government is preparing to receive 147 nationals from Grenada, Florida, and Canada into state quarantine facilities. So you now understand that. So you finally hear what Kamala telling you for the last 11 weeks. Bring home our people. Bring home our people safely, carefully, quarantine, hotel, and you pay for it. Don't make citizens pay for it. And all you went in the heritage and stabilization, the Dwayne tweeted. All you know that normal people is tweet. But when a Dwayne sends it out, it's a tweet. The Dwayne tweeted that he take out 4.2 billion out of the heritage and stabilization. That is for our citizens. Give them the money. They don't have to pay for no quarantine. The ministry has granted 4,515 exemptions so far. We ain't so sure about that. Show us the information. We don't believe you, boy. Every word that come out your mouth needs verification. Some nationals have agreed to pay for their 14-day quarantine. No, that should never exist. How can that be a policy? So if you have money, you could get through. If you could hire a private jet, you could come in. But if you could only buy economy ticket, you stay out. That is your P&M philosophy and fair policy. Young said the government would not be pressured into granting exemptions if people run to the media. Who you threatening, small pin? Boy, you smelling yourself or you threatening citizens? But if they run to the media, you will what? You will not let them in because you are the big bad Stuart Young. Let me tell you something. In 26 days, you are no bulletproof vest again, you know. You are no security again, you know. You are to walk the street. How you so bad? You get on so bad, you threatening people about their own country, their own rights to be here. They born here, their birth papers stay, that they here. We don't even know if you from here. The way you talk, you sounding like you come from Cambridge. Not the university, you know. The hospital next door. You're telling me about you threatening people if they go to the media. What he really say again? Let me read that. I had to read that all 5 times, you know. Small Pin Young said the government would not be pressured into granting exemptions if they run to the media. People are not running to the media. Trinbagonians do not like media. Trinbagonians are afraid of you and Rowley, whether they are billionaires or poor people. They are afraid because you all are vindictive and wicked human beings who are not empathetic nor sympathetic. People are afraid of you all, but they won't be afraid on August 10th because when they go in the booth, all you can't see them. All you can't see where they vote. So take what they give all your people, put on the red jersey, and on August 10th, go in the booth, and when you stick that stamp, stick it with vengeance on the yellow, and let them know that you do them that for that. Take all what they give. Andrew Gabriel, go down Labre, boy. I tell you, you gotta fling money, boy. Because down in Labre, the place gone yellow and black. The pitch black and the jersey and flag is yellow. You better run down there quick, boy. Run, little boy, Andrew Gabriel. You threatening people. Trinis go to the media because they have tried everything. They write you, you ignore them. They write you, you're arrogant. They write you, you disrespect them. They write you, you firebomb them. So when they eventually are suffering, they have nothing else to do but go to the media. When they go to the media and they're suffering and they're tired and they're hungry, you bully them. Let me tell you something. I want to say to big Wayne LeBlanc, our radio, all you know him on radio from Hot 93 Morning Show. You know him from all endorsements, advertisement, hosting, the sweet voice of Wayne LeBlanc and his wife Beverly. On douglAR Politics, we would like to say thank you very much to Wayne LeBlanc and his wife for driving 600 miles round trip from Orlando to Miami to pick up Miss Josanne panting and bring her, get her groceries, feed her, keep her safe, give her a little dye for her hair, let her go by the hairdresser and trim, looking good, laughing, smiling, and having a good time with people who love her. Thank you very much to Wayne LeBlanc, his wife. And to those who don't understand how great that was of them, that Trini spirit still lives on, to drive so far, to care so much, while Stuart Smallpin and Rowley saying, well, we can't hear that woman on the video and so on, we can't find them, and if we want to find everybody, it will be so, yes, that's why you will be out August 10th, because you don't care about any individual. And if you cannot care about an individual, how can you care about a country? That is why Kamala will blow you out, because Kamala care about each individual, each mother, each poor person. She don't see race, she don't hair class, she don't know nothing other than help people. But you just only see NCB Global Finance. You just only see 61 million for Faris Al-Rawi, a la rental, a la tight pants. And let me tell you something, a la tight pants. Somebody might say you're a nice guy. You're a total clown, a losing attorney general, the worst attorney general in the history of the Caribbean, losing 28 straight case. You are a total useless MP. Nobody else here in San Fernando West, and Sean Sobers will wipe the floor with you. He might be more diplomatic than me. I want to be no diplomat. Al-Rawi, Johnny Sukaran, a la tight pants. Get ready for the licking of your life, son. Right? You gallerying yourself. Oh, you talking Spanish? Eh? You go end up, we go send you Caracas with Wilmer Rupetti and all of them PDVSA and Roger. Both you and Roger could lean to the left. Let me tell you something. When you see this, you know a man desperate. Before election, he does fall asleep when he go in a mosque once. You know it had to have election. When you see Rowley in a mosque, pretending with Hussein, let me tell you something. You could do all that mamagism, but all of these old 1956, 1961, 1965, 1966 tricks not working. People have seen through your rubbish. So you could go and pretend you like mosque. Go and sit down in a Catholic church and make the sign of the cross. Go and wrap your head and go in a Baptist church and preach. Go in a Orisha and do voodoo in Lekoto. But the licking is coming. And to those, and to Nizam Mohammed, my brother, oh Lord, all right. You did stupidness, you talk rubbish, and Kamala fire you from the Police Service Commission. You're still toting? It's the banker you with that? Get over that, Nizam. You're a big man. You understand? You get like a little girl. You want to oh gosh, Nizam, we sorry you wasn't very intelligent and your statement was stupid. We sorry, Kamala fire you. Behave yourself now, man. Minister and the CEO find no conflict in candidates distributing grants. Let me tell you all something. The PNM has lost its moorings so far that they cannot differentiate between government and party. Do you know that a member of parliament office is not to be used for any party activities? Do you know that state resources that belong to the people, all the people, are not to be selectively given to political parties either side? Do you all understand that? Do you understand that when you swear on the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, the Bible, however you swear, Jah Rastafari, to serve the people, you have to serve all the people? PNM don't understand that. The PNM is now handing out grants from the government of Trinidad and Tobago through candidates of the PNM. And they are trying to justify that. Go back to 2015 when Keith Christopher Rowley said, we are the government and the government is separate from the PNM party. You remember that? But now election, time longer than twine. He had to call our early election because we afraid anybody. We not afraid anybody. So he called it. But now we afraid. And now we forget. And now PNM party and government on top one another butting heads to all the right-thinking people out there. Think about this. Let me read it for you all now. The National Commission for Self-Help CEO PNM Elroy Julian sees nothing wrong with People's National Movement PNM candidates giving out the vouchers. I have seen no conflict of interest. He has seen no conflict of interest. Elroy, we ain't care if you blind, dumb, and dotish. We ask if you could see a conflict of interest where you want a microscope. You can't see a conflict of interest of a PNM candidate handing out state resources that belong to all the people of Trinidad and Tobago that are only to be handled and distributed by people duly elected by the people of Trinidad and Tobago. You can't see that? Well, boy, I don't know how you could see your books to read English. He continued, I look at the persons who receive the grants as the legitimate persons wanting the grants. As a result of that, we gave them the grants. It was at City Hall, San Fernando City Hall, to hand out some repair home improvement grants on Tuesday. San Fernando East candidate Brian Manning. Nobody ever voted for Brian Manning in history yet. Brian Manning has not one vote. Brian Manning ain't win no election. Brian Manning in the government is absolutely nothing. Brian Manning cannot handle and hand out state resources. All your PNM have lost the script. You all have lost your minds. You all have gone through, you all are equating PNM with government. And you are making a grave error. Who is Brian Manning? A candidate is nothing, is no one, is not an entity. A candidate has not gotten an instrument of appointment. A candidate has not been sworn in by the president to handle and make decisions in government matters for Trinidad and Tobago. Brian Manning and also Clifford Rambarose. Now this is a joke. I don't even know who's Clifford Rambarose. I just see him on Facebook and he have about 2 friends and he go in and give Munilal the fight of his life in Orapu. I said, boy, Rambarose, you're trying to run race to see who gonna get locked up in St. Anne's first. You go in and battle who? The lion, Rudal Munilal, don't so? Bossman, if Munilal don't beat you by more than 12,000 votes, I bite the lion. You understand? Rambarose, what going on there? You drink bush tea or you go give Munilal a fight. But behave your stupid self, eh? We taking a break, then I'm coming back. I'm coming back to deal with the man who protecting the pom-pom grabber, boy. Oh, Lord PNM, all you protecting pom-pom grabbers now, all you come out to talk, and all you telling all the women's league in the PNM, defending pom-pom grabber. A man now saying, well, the man didn't really grab the pom-pom, I fire him for something else, but it wasn't pom-pom. Well, Rowley, what you did with the pom-pom in 69, we coming back.
Let's be hard. For us as fishermen, let's be hard.
The food in the nation, that is, we have the food basket. Agriculture is the main thing in Moruga. We have no oil industry. We have nothing, no asphalt, nothing. It's fish and provision. Under the present administration, they neglect that from day one. Recently, we had a gas station built there under the past MP, Mr. Clifton Dikoto, and when the next representative came in, he just leave it there as a bad job.
Same thing with the government. When Wassa come in and they dig up the road, let have a contractor crew moving with them. We could work with that. That is just all. And this is a promise. You see how much little rough road it have going on the road? I want to know well where the MP them that be passing to go out there. Them in helicopter or something?
We live in Muruga, we're 2020. We don't even have an ATM machine down here. We don't even have a fast station close to us in Muruga in case our house burning down. These are the things that we need down here. We don't even have an ambulance in the health office so that in case somebody gets sick in the night, we can rush them to the hospital immediately.
Resources of Moruga Tableland spans from ecotourism to agriculture, to we actually have oil in Catskill and Khorasan, to we have a youthful population that could develop these entities, and we want to tap into this. We want to give hope to the single parents, hope to the motherless, and hope to the fatherless. We want to actually put food on each and every table.
Do you know that in Trinidad, Moruga Tableland, we grows the largest amount of pineapple in the Caribbean? And for the years, we have been lobbying with the Ministry of Agriculture to get assistance in opening a pineapple processing plant right here in Trinidad. The farmers of Moruga Tableland, we all are moving with Michelle.
Michelle, don't matter what, now is the time for her, and she's supposed to be the next MD.
He will come and she will help we good. You understand?
Yes, she will do nice for me.
Thank you.
And welcome back. Now, Keith Christopher Rowley, recently for no reason out of the blue, the media had once again allowed a very important, critical, serious issue to just fall by the wayside without interest. An issue involving a powerful minister, not only powerful in position, but a big, powerful minister, a barrel of a minister, Barrel Smith. And we heard and we went through the story ad nauseum for a year and a half. And then when Rowley decided that he set up a committee to waste time, the committee did its work, and then he disrespected the three women on top of that to manufacture an argument that they did not give Grabby Wabby, the pum pum grabber, an opportunity to respond, that then all of a sudden the whole case was dropped because natural justice was not followed. That was Rowley's concocted rationale. But the media left it. They left the 150,000. They didn't bother with Grabby Wabby anymore. And that was that. But all of a sudden, just so, out of the blue, in Diego Martin, Keith Christopher Rowley started to tell we that Grabby Wabby really didn't grab. That Grabby Wabby didn't grab and didn't know, and Rowley didn't know about no grab, and there was no grab, and the grab went untold. Okay. So then why? Why did he fire him? Rowley said, and I quote, I fired, let me tell you, I don't have to tell you why I fired Barrel Smith, Grabby Wabby. But let me tell you that I fired him not for any sexual harassment. Nah. I fired him for getting involved in the public service process. I said, what are you talking about there? He said, well, when the permanent secretary was doing up the letter of dismissal for Miss Moreau, the permanent secretary was writing some reasons. And Barrel Smith went to the permanent secretary and said, no, don't do that now. Because in case the lady would like to get another job, they don't want it on the record. In fact, I would say, for Grabby Wabba, that was very thoughtful. You understand? For a man who don't know how to treat women, I would say that was a thoughtful, so he was a thoughtful grabber, right? Because that was nice. He didn't want the girl's permanent record as a single mother to be impacted. So Dr. Keith Rowley tells you, live on every network that Andrew Gabriel pay for, where they get the money, I don't know. Because they don't have money to pay all your grant. They don't have money to pay your rent. They don't have money to pay back pay. They don't have money to buy laptop. They don't have money to buy your children's school. They don't have money to buy textbook. They don't have money to buy no sporting goods. They don't have money for nothing for all you. But they have money to buy out all the TV. But people still switching off and not even watching. So I am saying, but what is this? But here the problem for Dr. Keith Rowley. Rowley, you're a lazy human being. The contract for staff hired by the minister. And ladies and gentlemen, let us be clear. A minister can hire 3 positions without public service interference, without the norms of HR public service, without any advertisement, no qualifications, no evaluation team. A minister can hire a driver. So if I want Mamu drive me, well, Mamu driving me if I am a minister. Give him contract permanent secretary. A minister can hire an advisor. Nobody can tell him, no, you need this advisor, that advisor, you can't take this advisor. If I want an advisor to teach me how to baila the conga line with Maduro to salsa and gasolina, I could do that. And the third position a minister could do is your personal assistant. Miss Moreau was the personal assistant or the personal secretary of the minister. Keith Christopher Rowley said that the permanent secretary was going to fire the lady with cause, and that Grabby Wabby Barrel Smith went to the permanent secretary and said, please don't do that, just let her go in peace. And Rowley said that was so egregious that he had to fire that minister. Now this is the man who let Drunky Monkey stay in the Senate, don't mind he convicted of driving drunk, and he could have killed all our family with 53 millimole up above the limit. He leave in the Senate. So the interference with the public service was so more egregious than driving drunk. He had Marlene there. He and Marlene hug up Berkey in the president's house. He fired Marlene 3 different times. Marlene get 375,000 without even having an NSO with an account. But that was all right. He leave Marlene for a while until the police come for she. But saying that none of he ministers running from police here because Marlene can't run, they catch she. You understand? She doesn't get caught. So let's see. There's one problem, Rowley. Once again, you don't read, you don't research before you open your mouth and talk stupidness. I have here the standard contract for personal assistants, personal secretaries at all ministries. This contract has remained the same for the last 20 years. Let us read the dismissal and contract termination clauses. So dismissal. If the person engaged at any time after the signing of this agreement shall neglect or refuse, or for any cause except ill health, as provided for in clause 11, become unable to perform any of her duties or to comply with any order, including any order given by the permanent secretary, head of the department, or by any other officer duly authorized by her, or shall disclose any information respecting the affairs of the government to any unauthorized person, or shall in any manner misconduct herself, the government may dismiss her. Termination of contract, section 11. Please pay attention, population, because this goes to the heart of who is your prime minister now. If you did not believe he lied in Emailgate, then listen to this. If you did not believe he lied with Delcy, I'm now discovering Astrobal Chavez. If you did not believe that, well, listen to this. If you didn't believe that he lied when the Chinese contract for HDC was so sweet, Newman George signed it by himself without cabinet, then listen to this. If you didn't believe he lied when he told Tobagonians that the Bridgman's contract, the crooked money, went through the normal cabinet process, when it really went through a prime ministerial approval who's seeking covering approval after, then listen to this. Section 11, termination of employment. The employment of the person engaged may be determined at any time after the expiration of 3, yeah, you can change it, yes, I change it, sorry, Archie. 3 months from the date, so this is the second one, date of commencement of the agreement by either party giving to the other one 1 month's previous notice writing or 1 month's salary in lieu thereof. what that fancy language means. And all the lawyers out there who watching, share the life the lawyers. All the lawyers who watching out there know that this simply means that the contract can be terminated without cause, without reason, you could just say, I don't want you. 30 days, bye-bye. You don't have to have reasons. So if Daryl Smith told the permanent secretary, please fire the girl without reason, then there's not any problem. He's not in breach of any procedure of public sector procedure or public service procedure. He is following the contract, and Daryl Smith was well within his rights to fire his personal assistant without cause. Let me read it again for y'all attorneys. Listen very carefully. Termination of contract, section 11. The employment of the person engaged may be determined at any time after the expiration of 3 months from the date of commencement of this agreement by either party, giving the either one 1 month's previous notice in writing or 1 month's salary in lieu thereof. So it's a very easy contract to get out of once you pass 3 months. Now if you go back to the story as we know it, remember the man tried to grab the pum-pum for a while, and then the girl's statement say she was ignored for a couple months because pum-pum grabber knew that he could not get rid of her legally without paying before 3 months pass. You see, once she served 3 months, all he had to do is give her 30 days notice and bye-bye. Go find another work.
So of the Daryl Smith situation, there was no complaint before me, and there was no document before me that had anything to do with sexual harassment. None whatsoever. I communicated with the lawyer who acted for the ministry, and the lawyer confirmed that in his document from the union, where the union complaint was made, and where he acted for the ministry, there was no complaint in there about sexual harassment. There were whispers outside, but in those complaint, none. But I will tell you, prime ministers don't have to tell you why they fire ministers or why they hire ministers. Don't have to. But tonight I will tell you why I fired Daryl Smith. I fired Daryl Smith for interfering improperly in the public service. And this is how it went. He did not want to continue hiring the woman because for reasons given to the PS, she was unsatisfactory in her job. The PS would have been told that, and the PS prepared the dismissal for the person. This is an officer who is serving at the pleasure of the minister, not being part of the public service. While working in the public service, this is a temporary position that ends with the minister's own term. And the minister could hire that person or could get rid of the person. Not capriciously, of course, but if he was dissatisfied, he could have done that. When he did that, and the PS put the letter of dismissal and put the complaints as made by the minister, a letter now exists about the person, unsatisfactory performance and incompetence. He then went to the minister, to the PS, and said, you can't do that. Take out the cause. Because if she goes to get another job, that will act against her. And the PS did that. The PS took that instruction from the minister and removed the cause of dismissal and violated the industrial relations understanding. You can't fire.
And violated what, Rowley? What he violated? What she violated? Violated what? Look, the contract here, you clown. You can dismiss, just give 30 days notice, and you don't need cause, you don't need reason, you don't need rationale. Where you concoct that story from? Secondly, what you're talking about, the ministry lawyer is he. The Ministry of Sport lawyer is Judith Jones. The last time I checked, she's a woman, she's not a he. You understand? So who you talking about? Are you talking about Kwamena? Is Kwamena your personal lawyer? How Kwamena reached by Daryl Smith? Who sent him there? Who hired Kwamena? Let Kwamena talk. So be very careful, Rowley. What are you talking? What did he violate? What did Barrel Smith violate in this contract here? Put up the second page there, Archie. The section 11, termination of contract. The employment of the person engaged may be determined at any time after the expiration of 3 months from the date of commencement of the agreement by either party giving the other one 1 month previous notice in writing or 1 month's salary in lieu thereof. No cause, no public sector, actual nothing. You fabricate a whole story, and let's find out why, Rowley. Why? Why you do that? Why you bring up this thing so? Did Barrel Smith get angry about 7 days ago, Rowley? Your boy just asking you. Did he drink some rum and soda and get a little upset? And did he show some of his brethren who are also your brethren some WhatsApp messages? Let me tell you something, eh? Do we have a policy here in the United National Congress? And only listen to me good. That Kamla Prasad Bisesa, the woman of character that she is, will never ever, at any point in time, act inappropriately with any of the young candidates' husbands. She would never do that. That is out of bounds here in the USC. That could never happen. Kamla Prasad Bisesa would never do that, because if a leader was to do that, it could send some of these young people a little caliwampas, and then they get a little tobacco and they run Tobago on a jaunt, and they don't know what to do because somebody who would do that. Hey, Rowley, don't play with me, boy. You understand? And if you want to come with more lie, I go come with the whole story. We had 26 days. I go come with it with 5 days to go, boy. How you bring back this, yes, sir? Barrel Smith is okay, brother. I understand him. All right. I'm sorry for you. I mean, I don't like you because you must not grab pum-pum. The woman is a single mother. If you ain't get through, cool yourself. Be a gentleman. Be chivalrous. But let's go through this now. Here the next problem for Rowley and his story. Back in the day, there was a permanent secretary called Joan Mendez. When these activities occurred, it was during her time. That was the Tobago jaunt, and then this incident with Miss Moreau. Now Keith Christopher Rowley in one fell swoop is calling Carrie Ann Moreau, who gave a statement under oath at the Labour Court. He's calling her a liar. He's also calling the three-lady committee with Mutota and Jackie Wilson and so on liars, because their entire committee presented evidence to him about sexual harassment, grabbing pum-pum, and terrible behavior on the part of Darrell Smith. So much so that when Kamla Prasad Bisesa and the UNC asked Rowley in the parliament on 3 separate occasions, he said the behavior was undesirable. The behavior, the report alluded to some dastardly behavior, terrible behavior. So was that behavior, Rowley, simply that Darrell Smith didn't want to hamper a lady's future career, future earnings? That's the only good thing that he did. But you are coming to the population to tell us that the only good thing that Darrell Smith did in this thing was the reason you bust it throat. Well, let me ask you this then, Rowley. When you first heard the story and you and Camille Robinson Regis went to investigate, and you removed Darrell Smith as a minister and put him as a parliamentary secretary or junior minister in the Ministry of Housing, clearly that was because he had thwarted the public sector process. He had interfered with the public service. Well, let me ask you this. After the March 25th, 2018 Sunday Express story, where Carrie Ann Moreau's statement was printed verbatim, the evidence she laid in court, how come you fire him? Did his interference in the process get worse? How does interference in a public sector process get worse? He started a shout. He interfered aggressively. How it got worse? If it was no grabby-wabby, no sexual harassment, nothing. How come you increased his punishment after the Sunday 25th March Express story? Please explain. Because I don't think interfering in a process and asking a permanent secretary not to put cause, not to put the reasons on a letter of dismissal could get any worse. It remained the same. Another question for you, Rowley. There was a permanent secretary at the ministry at the time. His name was Ian Ramdahin. You know that name? Ian Ramdahin. Ian Ramdahin is on record with the committee that you hired to waste the country time. And then when the committee did their work professionally and told you if it want to go further, you will have to present it to Grabby Wabby for further discussion and further access. Because they had reached the limit of their terms of agreement, above their terms of reference. You then concoct with Faris Al-Rawi Al-Rental Al-Tight Pants that this was a breach of natural justice, and you then started to lambaste the 3 ladies. So now it's 4 ladies all your lambaste, and you have the PNM Women's League also backing a Grabby Wabby over a single mother. And you are telling people in this country, vote for y'all. Well, let me ask you this, Rowley. When Ian Ramdahin said, I am not dealing with that issue, I am not paying any money, I am not signing off on no 150,000, this is a private matter, let the minister handle that. When the PS did that, Rowley, what happened to Ramdahin? Somebody move him into your office by you in a room, by the office of the Prime Minister. Who is the only human being on this planet who can move a permanent secretary horizontally and rearrange the portfolio? Honorable Prime Minister, who? And for those of y'all who don't know, only the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago can move a permanent secretary and reassign them to a different ministry. Now, Rowley, who then replaced Ian Ramdahin at the Ministry of Sport? A P.S. Barrow. Who put P.S. Barrow there? Only the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago could have put P.S. Barrow there. What did P.S. Barrow then do? P.S. Barrow, in the first day she reached, went and approved the $150,000 of taxpayer money to pay this thing. So what are you talking about, Rowley? What about that? Who is also P.S. Barrow? Did she also pay off the $92,000 for the jaunt that the poor fella had a little to bank? Why the man had to banker, Rowley? Why did Daryl Smith have to banker, Rowley? I'm asking you, Keith Christopher Rowley, why did Daryl Smith have to banker and lead him to act so insanely like he had to Ranji Banji? Why? Rowley, answer the douglAR boy. And you want to bully people? Come and bully me now. Afraid you, Rowley. Oh God, you're so bad, you little bad John. Huh? Why did Daryl Smith have to banker to run Tobago to spend $92,000 of taxpayer dollars with girl and thing? Why the man was so depressed? What made him so depressed? Why you come back with this story now? And why you lying? Because we have the contract here. And the contract could be terminated by the minister. Let me go and continue some of the lies now. When Daryl Smith was first answered, yes, leave up that. When Daryl Smith was first asked, but what happened? What's this? Al-Rawi, Smallpin, and Daryl Smith say, but that had nothing to do with me. That is the CPO and the ministry, the permanent secretary. Well, let me tell you all something there, ladies and gentlemen. The only person who can fire a minister's driver is the minister. The only person who can fire a minister's advisor is the minister. And the only person who can fire a minister's personal secretary assistant is the minister. So anybody who said that I'm the minister, but my personal secretary get bust throat from the PS and it had nothing to do with me, they lie. They lie. A permanent secretary cannot do that. The ministers only have those 3 positions. Any other position, yes, they go through. The only reason the permanent secretary really involved is that a minister can't pay nobody. You have to get money from the treasury, and the permanent secretary is the accounting officer. Number 2, If there was no sexual harassment, put up that now, Archie, and let's read it. Let's read it. I can't read it, you know. Let me pull, y'all read it while I pull it up on the phone, eh? Because I can't see the camera blocking me. But y'all read it at home and see what are y'all seeing there? Are y'all seeing WhatsApp? These are WhatsApp conversations between P.S. Barrow of the Ministry of Sport at that time and between Grabby Wabby Darrell Smith. Rowley says no sexual harassment. What you talking about? They don't have that, man. Barrow was first to share the news with the minister. So this is the P.S. Barrow replaced Ian Ramdahin by Keith Christopher Rowley because he's the Prime Minister. He replaced Ramdahin with this lady. And here the lady. The matter with Carrion Moreau resolved. Settlement in the amount of 150,000 agreed and check collected. Barrel Smith, thanks with an emoticon. Thanks. Confidential signed. What is confidential? He's so dotish he don't even know what a non-disclosure is. He call it a confidential signed. Why confidential? What you need to be confidential? If you just firing a girl by a contract which say just give her 30 days notice without cause, why do you need a non-disclosure to say that I told them don't put a reason for firing the young lady? I'm not understanding. All the douglAR dotage, help me understand. Don't move that, you know, actually leave up that, let the people read it good. Barrow, P.S. Barrow then said, yes, it's, and that's, oh God, the PS and all can't write English, was part of the settlement agreement that we both signed. So when the girl came to collect her check, the PS was ready and waiting with a man, and the fellow, the union representative, Mr. Templeton, was with the girl, and they tell her to get her check. She had to sign the NDA, the non-disclosure agreement. And the PS is excited to advise Smith that, hey, the non-disclosure has been signed, everything good, confidential, secret safe. Line up the video, eh? Line up that video, you know which one are coming with Archie. And then Smith does thumbs up emoticon. And no mention of sexual harassment. I repeat, and no mention of sexual harassment. This is Barrel Smith. WhatsApp as printed in Wired 868. A conversation between himself and the PS Barrow, who replaced Ramadan by Rowley. So why is Rowley protecting Barrel Smith so much? Why is Rowley coming to tell you on the eve of an election that it had nothing to do with sexual harassment when we know? We read the statement of Moreau, we read the statement of Ramadan, we read the report from Mutota, Jackie Wilson and them, we read the contract, we know the issue, we saw all. And he now coming to say it had nothing to do with sexual harassment, but it had to do with interfering in the public service. I've showed you all that it was no interference in any public service because the contract allowed Arrell Smith through the PS to fire the girl with just 30 days notice. But you know what? Back in 1969, Rowley was a teacher. Hey, Rowley? Ain't you was a teacher in 69? They had a girl of school age. Did she get pregnant by a teacher in 69? Would you say that that was using a power position with a child of school age, 16 and 2 months by my calculation? Did she bear a child, and who child that is? You see, birds of a feather flock together, and when you have a leader who is like that, he had to protect a grabber wabber who is like that. And let me tell you why. I didn't know why, but Rowley taught us what you must do. Archie, play the video and turn it up loud, let the people hear.
A code, a mafiosi code. We keep each other's secret. It's only when you break rank, you go there and expose us, and for that, we're going to kill you politically. It's the code of the Cosa Nostra. As long as we stay together, we will survive together. And we agree not to breach the code of secrecy.
Play it again, because me ain't know no code and no Cosa Nostra. Them people, them just read all kind of book. I read all kind of book, but me ain't know about that. Let me hear you.
A code, a mafiosi code. We keep each other's secret. It's only when you break rank, you go there and expose us, and for that, we're going to kill you politically. It's the code of the Cosa Nostra. As long as we stay together, we will survive together. And we agree not to breach the code of secrecy.
Yes. Well, let me ask you something. So, Rowley, if Grabby Wabby lied to you and tell you that he went to tell the PS not to fire the girl for cause, and that upset you on the 25th or the 26th of March 2018, and you fire him and you bust his throat, and you later found out that there was some sexual harassment, because you can't tell me you didn't find out later, because your committee came and you didn't read the report. The report alluded to terrible things. You didn't read Carrie-Ann Moreau's evidence sworn to in court. When you and Camille without wig interviewed the young lady, and Camille is the head of the Women's League in the PNM, the lady is a member of the Women's League in the PNM because she's a woman. Did you all interview her at any time? As a prime minister, when you were fact-finding, when you were hearing the rumors, when Barry Padarat asked the question in the parliament, when Al-Rawi got up and said, me I know nothing about that, did you ever ask Carrie-Ann Moreau a question? And I have another question for Noel Garcia and Anthony Garcia. Is Carrie-Ann Moreau all your niece? Is Carrie-Ann Moreau all your niece, Noel and Anthony Garcia? Because if she's all your niece and all you let two man do she that, oh God, shame on all your mama pool, man. You feel anybody could do my niece that? I go in straight Golden Grove and sit down. All you do is matter bother with magistrate court. And all you letting that do, all you sit down there and you happy to be building grounds and spending money, Noel Garcia? Is it your niece? And you all calm? Was this discussed at the General Council of the PNM? And was sexual harassment discussed? Rowley coming to say no sexual harassment? What you talking? And to Mr. Kwamena, the great oil lawyer, the oil baron, who all of a sudden don't know nothing about oil, but Rowley put you in charge of somewhere where it had fake oil, and then there may have been an investigation, but you ain't know nothing about oil, but you gone there. You is Rowley lawyer. Who hired you, Mr. Kwamena, to be the Ministry of Sport external lawyer, when the Ministry of Sport has an internal lawyer called Judith Jones? Who sent for you, Kwamena? The douglAR just asking. Who sent for you? And who paid your bill? Is it the norm for lawyers of your ilk to do work for a ministry pro bono? Did you do it pro bono? Or were you paid, Kwamena? Who sent for you, Kwamena? Who hired you, Kwamena? And if you was Barrel Smith's attorney and Rowley's attorney, did you report to Rowley anything that you found from your client? Is that a conflict of interest, or did you not share information? But Rowley admitted he spoke to you. So how can Rowley talk to you? Because he said he, the lawyer for the ministry, he. The lawyer in the ministry is a she. So Kwamena, did you share information about your client Barrel Smith with Rowley? You see, because my friend, the Law Association may have some question for you, my friend. Because I'm not so sure that you could share information from one client to another client, my friend. I don't know. I know read the code. I know so bright. Okay? But as I talking Spanish now, we going to talk a little Spanish. Because Keith Christopher Rowley want to sell your Petrotrin, your refinery, 26 days, 26 días before election. He want to sign with Roger, who lean to the left, your refinery. This is a very serious thing. Franklin Khan is slamming fake Venezuela oil document. So I read this, I saying, but wait now, I want to read this carefully because I know it's the douglAR who brings some gasolina documents. Well, Franklin Khan talking about some nondescript document that nobody had talked about, the douglAR ain't mentioned. You see these documents here? He ain't mentioned it at all. But he find the PNM must be put some fake document up, and here Franklin Khan. The document is a Caribbean Common Market Declaration and Certificate. It states that Heritage Petroleum Company sold 850,000 barrels of crude via Venezuela. Right, nobody interested in that. Nobody here talk about heritage. Nobody here talk about crude. Nobody here talk about no 850,000 barrels. What we spoke about is a shipment that came from Augustus, Italy on February 27th. It left coming to Pointe-à-Pierre. It was consigned to Shell. Halfway through the journey, it changed to Trafigura PTE. It was to the ship was the Manolates. It arrived in Trinidad and Tobago waters on the 16th. Rowley said Delcy was supposed to come on the 16th. It went into Pointe-à-Pierre on the 21st. It offloaded 200,000 barrels of gasolina at 9.74 million US. 2 days later, the Aldan that was parked up in Venezuela sailed across to Pointe-à-Pierre and they loaded on 148,908 barrels of gasolina. This was sold to ES Trading from Geneva, which is a company of Wilmer Ruperti. Trafigura is also Wilmer Ruperti. The ship went to out to St. Eustatius, then they changed it to Aruba, and information coming out of the USA from tracking after they turned off the transponder showed that it went to El Palito in Venezuela, where it offloaded 148,904 barrels of gasolina. The USA is investigating that, and Paria said through Newman George that on the 15th of April that the money was paid by ES Trading, 5.634 million US by bank transfer from Deutsche Bank into Paria's RBC account. I have here the invoice from Paria to EOS, but it is dated the 27th. You see, these are not fake documents. How could ES Trading pay a bill on the 15th, but the invoice is generated on the 27th? What they pay? They just pay what they feel. They just pay what they seem. I also have here documents laid in Parliament by the PNM. They laid this. Franklin Smiley Khan, who wife building rent out, and he said, well, that is not me. So two will not become one in the PNM, right? Franklin Khan laid this through Paria in the Parliament. This is the customs document. The problem with this document is that it was generated 54 days after the Aldan left. How is that possible? And how is the media ignoring this? And Rowley says now that he's going to sign with Roger the sale of our refinery, your refinery, to Roger with a conditionality number 7, which says that he has to sign a MOU with Trafigura PTE. I have shown you time and time again over the last 2 months that Trafigura PTE is Wilmer Ruperti, it is Maduro, it is Delcy, it is dangerous. The USA don't want it. There are sanctions. We signed the Rio Treaty. We are beholden to it. The whole country is going to be in jeopardy now. One shipment of gasolina may be all right, but continued attempts to evade sanctions will bring pain and hardship on the entire country of Trinidad and Tobago. Every citizen with a credit card, every citizen with a business, everybody who want to go to Disney World, everybody who want to bring in a barrel, anybody who want to go and see their family in USA will be under pressure like Granger and his family in Guyana. And that's what's going to happen if you vote Rowley and his clowns. I ask you sensible people watching there. Forget Anil as UNC. Forget me. Forget the mouth big. Forget how ugly. Do you think it is right for a prime minister of a country with 26 days to an election to sign off the most major asset beholden and belonging to the people and citizens of Trinidad and Tobago when he could be voted out in 26 days? when he's a lame duck prime minister at this point? Are you all going to accept that? He says it out bold-faced, and I expected to see the whole news replete with intellectuals, lawyers, scholars, former permanent secretaries, people of senior council, judges, former judges, professors, law professors, businessmen, and everybody who will be affected saying, no, Rowley, wait for the election. And if you would like to, if you happen to succeed, then you can proceed on the 12th or 13th after you're swearing again. But that will not happen. So are we going to accept that? These are the questions you must ask. This is a man of Emailgate. This is a man of Renaissance. This is a man that gravel rolled from a hospital to somewhere by him. This is a man that said Manning was corrupt for meeting with one CEO, but he has met with 14 CEOs. He has procured without procurement. They left the procurement legislation sitting down there for 3 years without proclamation, with Munila Lalchan gaining and draws in a pay and saying nothing. This is the man who puts Gary Sobers under the office of the Prime Minister, Stuart Smallpin Young, moves Udicott with his best friend, Noel Garcia, under the Prime Minister, office of the Prime Minister. When Munilal asked him, he said, yeah, know about that. We saw it gazetted by the President 13 days before, which means he lied. And then Udicott takes 180 million loan from Stuart Smallpin, brother Angus Young. And you all say yellow thief? We have to wake up in this country, and to all y'all in the media, y'all have no shame. Y'all have no shame. Did y'all ask Paria, was the money paid on the 15th of April as stated in the advertisement from Deutsche Bank to RBC? The invoice had First Citizens Bank. How the hell could ES Trading know that Paria had a RBC account if the invoice had First Citizens Bank 9 Queens Park Savannah? But y'all media don't care about that. Was the money ever paid? Y'all don't care that Wilmer Rupetti moved gas from Italy, bring it to Pointe-à-Pierre, change in the middle from Shell to Trafigura, then put a next boat and send it to Venezuela, El Palito. And y'all have no story, no investigation, nothing. Y'all don't care that the borders closed. And Delcy Rodriguez, a sanctioned person on a sanctioned jet with 5 sanctioned people from PDVSA, land up and went to meet with Rowley face to face to discuss. Nothing on the agenda. He didn't know. And he didn't know who came, where they came, what they passed, how they eat, and what they was wearing. And y'all have no questions about that. To all the right-thinking people in Trinidad and Tobago, forget this thing. Politics is not no game, you know. Politics is not no big tune. Nice tune, Peter. See, I still love the jingle. It's very catchy. Only that the words are hollow because every lyric is a lie. Your part, Sasha part, every part. My brother Archie put up that little saying. Somebody sent me a nice little saying. Let me read it as we go, as we get ready for UNC on the ballot. Vote for UNC straight through. Solve this problem because this is headache going forward. I can't even read it. I can't read it. I can't see. Let me pull up my phone. This camera right in front of the screen. Pull it, pull that so yes. Right. A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. A mistake repeated more than once is a decision. Let Rowley remain a mistake. Do not make Rowley a decision. Come August 10th, vote yellow, vote UNC, vote all your candidates across Trinidad and Tobago. Rid this country of Rowley, Smallpin, Faris Alarental, Ala Tight Pants, the Dwayne who tweets, and Camille without she wig. We gone. Good night.
Make way, yes. The queen is coming. 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 The queen is coming back for she throne. The queen is coming. The queen is coming back for she throne. The queen is coming. The queen is coming back for she throne. The queen is coming. The queen is reverting to her
throne. The Queen is coming. The Queen is coming back for she throne. The Queen is coming. The Queen is reverting to her throne. Make way for Queen Licessa. Make way for UNC. We political leader guiding us to victory. Only snake in the valleys. Every day is above all. Vote rising on election day and extend from the vault. The Queen is coming. The Queen is coming back for she throne. The Queen is coming.